Good morning and welcome to today's video, which is a very special one because today we start a new build on the channel. We have a new drift car, and yes, every one of my cars is pretty much a drift car on this channel. There's kind of a trend there, but that's okay because I'm obsessed and I love drifting. Before you go and assume that it's one of these lovely cars in the background, none of these cars are mine. None of these are my new drift car. As much as I wish it was like that S15 or something like that, it is not. But it is something that is arguably the new S chassis in the scene. And that is the 350Z. You guys who follow the channel know that we picked this up at auction in the crash corner for a stupid steal. As you can see, we've got a HR in here. This is a 2008 350Z or Fairlady Z here in Japan, right-hand drive, and this was in the crash corner with no keys. We bought this thing for well, if you do the exchange rate, it probably would have been about $3,000 flat USD. For the most part, the car's in really good shape. There's no big dings or damage. There's a bunch of clear coat issues on the front fenders and a little bit on the hood. That's it. And all it needed was a key. So we got a key made that same day that we bought it from the auction, and then the car started up, had no issues, and it's only got 100,000 kilometers on it. Crazy low mileage. In fact, these things now are selling in Japan for upwards of 20 grand. So we scored. Now, some of you might be thinking, Sam, that's a come up. You should just throw that like back in the auctions and make an easy like 15, 16 grand off it. And I could have, but I am never gonna get a 350Z this cheap, arguably ever again, that I can turn into a drift car. So drift car it is. And here are the plans for the drift car for today and tomorrow. We've got BC Racing, like complete real coilover kit for this. We're not doing springs and separate springs and struts in the rear. We're doing a full true coilover conversion on it. We've got a Nismo 1.5 way LSD from Okachan's old Time Attack Nismo sponsored 350Z that he raced back in 2003 and 2004 with at Fuji Speedway. We have every part. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There we go. The trumpet. GK Tech sent us their entire catalog for the 350Z. This thing is gonna be set up. I also love the fact they surprised me with this beautiful pink diff hat, so we're definitely gonna run that. This thing is awesome, and we're gonna be doing a dual stud conversion in the rear too, which is one of the biggest issues with the 350Zs is that the diffs only have one. When you're doing a lot of clutch kicks, well, that doesn't go so well and you break things. So this is gonna strengthen and fix all that out. We got the second set of calipers there for the dual caliper kit, and just, yeah, we'll go through all these parts when we start putting them on. But we're also doing a clutch today. And that is very important because one big thing that fails in the 350Z is the slaves. They're made from plastic and they break after you start abusing them with a bunch of clutch kicks. So we got this thing. Adam recommended this guy to me. So this is upgrading it to like a steel metal one. So this should be much stronger and never give me any problems. I think it came from Z-Speed. If you guys need any of this stuff, you can just go straight to Drift HQ and those guys will sort you out. And then of course, we had to go ORC clutch. We didn't just go with a single, we went with a double. So this thing, yes. You have no idea how excited I am to go away from that dual mass flywheel. It feels disgusting. I hate it. Anyone who drives a dual mass flywheel and you're like into sports cars and drifting, you know how much they suck. But anyways, we have a lot of parts. A lot and a lot and a lot of parts. But we are at my favorite place ever, Sidex Japan. Pretty much nowhere in Japan has workshops this big, so it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, we're in the right hands. These guys are gonna be helping me build this in the next few days. So kind of cue starting 350Z build. Let's go. The camera shut off during the time lapse, but we got the transmission out. We got the diff out, and I got the other one there ready to switch over the LSD centers. But what did you think, Steve? Easy?
Easy.
Easy? Not bad, right?
Not bad.
And then this is the stock clutch, the dual mass flywheel setup that I hate so much. Really excited to get that off there. put that new Johnny on. So we're gonna get onto that, but we're moving at a pretty fast pace. We might take a quick lunch break right now because it's already like 1 o'clock, but yeah, should have this all done in no time. And while he's working on taking the clutch off, I'm gonna work on switching out the slave, clean inside there a little bit, and then should be good to go back in. So Steve's over there busy with the clutch and getting that sorted. I'm over here on the transmission. I got the whole thing cleaned up and I then installed the new slave cylinder with this line kit. This thing actually is really nice. It uses like the factory mounting points and everything for the bleeder and the other line. It's really nice kit actually. It's like perfect. And this is what we replaced. So you can see that it's made from plastic from the factory. Now, I have had some friends that have had some okay luck with these, but they always break and fail over time, especially when drifting with all the clutch kicks and stuff. The plastic just over time gets brittle and breaks, and then you end up with no clutch. And the clutch problems are the worst. I hate them so much. There's nothing worse than at a track day with your friends shredding, and then a clutch goes and all your fun's ruined because you can't really do anything when you got no clutch. So we got that all sorted from the get-go. I'm just going everything upgraded in here so we never have to visit this again, hopefully for the lifetime of the car, or after this thing's just copped so much abuse that then we are in fact due for a new clutch. So that's kind of why I always ball out and make sure we put the best clutch and all that kind of stuff in there. So a bunch of time has gone by and we've gotten pretty much like all the other stuff done. The clutch is done, transmission's back in. I built the diff. We still got to talk about that and look at that. I think the knuckles are like off on the back now and the dual caliper brackets are in. We got the line run. I got the hydro mounted here. I'm working on trying to do this as neat as possible. This is probably the most time consuming thing. And I'm just trying to work out where I need to make my cuts. But it looks like we are going to be going into this territory here where the hazard button is, which is a bit of an annoying thing because we need this button in Japan to pass shukken. So, I mean, you just need hazard buttons as well, like even on track days. So I believe there's another like cowling or cover that you can get that actually has this clean here and the button goes somewhere else in your car. So I'm going to look around for that and we may just end up buying a new piece anyways, but I'm just going to chop this up best I can for now so we can fit this in here and we're good to go. But just to quickly show you, this like goes in here so perfect. GKTech did a really good job about this. It mounts up to the stereo bracket in here and there's still enough room for that double DIN unit to go in there, which is awesome. I still got to figure out where this gets mounted. I think this, we clean up and cut off these plastic brackets and this slides in under the vents there. I think that's where it's going to go. But yeah, space and real estate in here is definitely limited now. But the line just comes through here, through a grommet, through the chassis there, and then that'll go along with the factory handbrake cables all the way to the back to a T-piece that then goes to the dual caliper stuff. But that's that. I'm gonna get to cutting this. In the meantime though, let's go have a look at the diff and show you what that looks like. So you guys would have seen in the previous time lapse where I finished assembling this diff, we took the LSD center out of the 4.1 ratio diff that Okachan gave me, and I put my stock LSD back in there. It was a very worn LSD, you could spin both with your hands. Now this is a 1.5 Nismo GT Carbon LSD. So it's a really nice LSD, and this will be perfect for the Z. And we've got obviously the GK Tech extended and baffled front rear diff hat case cover. I don't know what you want to call it. And it has the dual stud conversion already on here, and it's perfect. This is also designed to go into S chassis and R chassis too, but it's mainly designed for the Z. Not only do you get more capacity and room to put sensors and all that kind of stuff in, but you get 2 studs. And just to quickly show you, this is the bush that will eventually go into the subframe. But we get this little guide here. On the back here, you've got the subframe, and what we do is we line this up with the hole perfectly there, and then we're able to mark the hole that needs to be drilled there. And we need to use a stepper bit because this big boy's got to slide into there. And then that will give us 2 pickup points for 2 bushes in the future. Eventually we're going to change this to a polyurethane bush or a solid bush, but for now we'll have to use the stock one. It is pretty worn, it's got some splits in there, but now that we're going to double ones, I know we can at least get a couple track days out of it like this for now. And yeah, that's it. Steve's working on lower arms and the rear caliper bracket right now. We're probably going to have this done in 2 days, I think. I think tomorrow will be the last day and we'll have everything sorted, which is awesome.
I think no.
You don't think so?
No.
Why?
Alignment.
Alignment, stuff like that. I mean, but bolting on all the parts, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Steve's amazing. He's been putting up with me having like calls and meetings and a whole bunch of other stuff going on, and while we've been working on this car, so he's been chooching away. Anyways, we're about to run out of battery on the camera, main camera, but we're gonna keep doing as much as we can for a little bit longer today. It's already like 8:30 p.m., but maybe another hour and then we'll call it quits and go to the hotel.
At thegamersubs.gg, use code SAMMIT for 10% off. If you want to know why I drink this stuff, there's a top secret video in the description that's understood that you can go check out. Let's go.
It's day 2 now, guys. We still have a lot of work to get done on the Z, but I'm confident we're gonna get it done today. I am definitely, though, feeling really sore after yesterday. I don't know if it was just the way I lifted the transmissions and the diffs, but cutting all that stuff around definitely stretched out the muscles and made me feel quite sore today. So I'm gonna enjoy the onsen at the hotel tonight. That's a definite. Reset everything for Drift Matsuri because we got a lot of wheeling to do. It's always a good thing to kind of stretch before you get into a Drift Matsuri. Anyone who's done like non-stop drifting for 2 weeks knows how much it actually how sore you get, and if you don't stretch before you go out. Like Aaron Lucy's on point there. I remember like one of the very old Lone Star drift videos where Aaron Lucy was like making everyone do like an exercise routine at the start of the drift week, like in Japan. He's not kidding. Like you definitely need to stretch everything out because otherwise you won't like be able to last like for a full week's non-stop driving. Anyways, that was a nice little tangent, but we still have a lot to get done on the Z today. I'm confident we can get it all done today, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to shred. So enough talking, let's get inside. But can we just admire this FD? I really need a rotary on the channel and in my life. I just think we need that. Let's go do Z things. We've hit a little bit of a roadblock with the dual calipers. There are like 3 or 4 different variants. If you guys know your 350Zs, let me know in the comment section. But today I discovered there's a lot of different calipers on Zs, even the normal looking kind ones. So this is the caliper here, the one that comes on the car, the normal one, on my car, on my 350Z. This is one that I bought. This is a secondhand one I bought. They look pretty identical, no? Anyways, this was listed as like a normal 350Z caliper. I bought it, and yeah, turns out it doesn't fit. This is for a smaller rotor one, which I don't know. Apparently there's like the Brembos, there's these ones, and then there's the smaller kind ones with a little bit of a smaller rotor or something like that. Anyways, these don't fit. When we line them up with the dual caliper bracket, you can only get the top bolt in, and then it doesn't line up with the bottom one, and the rotor's like hard pressed against it. So we're trying to call Nissan Parts right now to see if we can get some new calipers. I think that's just gonna be the best route from here. Hopefully they do. Worst case scenario, the calipers won't go until later tonight or tomorrow morning, which is okay. We still have time, which is good. Yeah, this just sucks. But this is also cars, as you guys know, if you watch this channel, there's always troubles and tribulations and all that kind of stuff when it comes to cars, and nothing's ever as simple as it seems. But we've been working away. Steve's been working on this side. As you can see, he's got the coilover already in. All the adjustable arms are on this side. I'm in the process of drilling out the subframe and getting that all sorted for the diff mount. But yeah, a little bit of a roadblock, but I think we can overcome this because it's Japan and Nissan parts normally have everything in stock. So we should be good. Touch, steel. Currently on hold to Nissan. I didn't think it was going there, this song, but it did. リアブレーキキャリパー、左と右欲しいです。はい。
Again?
So, calipers are just not going to be here today, tomorrow, maybe early next week. So we're going to do everything we can except just bolting the extra calipers on. So we'll run the lines and everything there, so it's just ready to roll. But have you ever had one of those moments where you're working on cars and then you do something that was just so stupid that you just want to throw everything down on the ground and walk away and never come back? I'm at that moment right now. I made a big mistake. The whole subframe now has to come out and we have to weld up a hole I just made. So long story short, the dual stud conversion for the diff, it's easy to just show you. There's a little hole that I drilled here. That was the hole I was supposed to drill. I drilled the factory OEM hole. There's like a little hole here, and I wasn't thinking, I was like humming, listening to music. I just looked at the hole, put the stepper drill bit in, started drilling, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's the hole I marked and drilled there. Why am I drilling here? And by then it was too late. I messed up. So we're pulling this out, we're welding that up, and then we're re-drilling the correct hole. So yeah, I'm in the process of, I've already taken the calipers back off. We're undoing a bunch of work me and Steve just did, but I'm sorry, Steve.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna leave that in because that's pretty much how it is right now. You're good at welding aluminium too, right?
I don't know. Maybe that.
I'm gonna have to buy him a carton or something after this. I feel so bad. Like, I cannot believe I made such a stupid mistake like that. This is where one of those moments where, damn it, SAMMIT works so well. And now you know why that's my Twitch name. I'm sorry, bro.
Fuck you.
Subframe's fixed. Everything lined up. Everything's nice and tight. We're good and ready to roll. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Oh yeah. We're ready to party now. Good to go. Might as well, since we're here, we'll do our axles up. Get those nice and bolted in there. And then we can put the whole frame in as one piece. Yay! Now we've fixed my mistake. Well, kind of. We still got to put everything back on, like, you know, coilovers and bolt that back to the knuckle and put the caliper back on. But yeah, we kind of fixed my mistake now. This is the last bolt I have to tighten from my mistake. But while I'm here, I figured, look at these beautiful BC Racing true coilovers. for the 350Z. Not only are they the best in the business, and look at all this space here for activities now. You can actually get your axles out this way. Like the spring buckets are usually like always in the way, and it's really hard to get your axles out. In fact, when the spring buckets were still in here, we tried to take the axles out when we were doing the dual caliper conversion. It was so hard to like maneuver the axle around. Khan was helping with one of them too. You know how hard it was? Remember how hard it was to get the axle out?
Yeah.
Now we don't have to do that because we don't have those buckets anymore because we have a true coilover system, the way the 350Z should have come with. Also, the best thing about this is it's already spec'd out. You know how I know it's already spec'd out? Because this is the Adam LZ spec ones. So we already know Adam has a bunch of seat time practice in this. In fact, I was totally inspired by Adam to build this. We spoke like ages and ages ago, and when he first let me drive his Z, like I was really, really excited about how good it felt for just a good seat time practice car that never breaks. And that's why we're building this, and I'm trying to replicate it as best I can with everything that he's done to his. Why try to reinvent the wheel, I always say, you know? So I think this will be perfect. Well, that's good. I'm gonna mark those bolts because they're tight now, and the only thing we have to do now is run the line for the dual calipers that we don't have because we're still waiting for those to come, hopefully early next week. But for the most part, diff, angle kit, dude, she ready to party. We haven't cut the tie rods yet, but like, whoop, 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 whoop. Bap. That's some angle, man. What's hitting? Ah, the caliper hits the coilover a little there. That's okay. But that's good angle. Damn. Me likey. So the angle kit we're going with is obviously GK Tech, and what I love about their kit is it literally bolts onto the stock knuckle like this. And this is the old pickup point for the tie rod end. It creates a new pickup point and it shortens it. So you can see like the normal pickup point's all the way here, right? And it brings it all the way to here, so shortens the knuckle and then drops the knuckle too. So that is absolutely awesome. I think this is the cheapest and the best feeling angle kit on the market. I drove the Z in Florida that had this kit on it. It literally like feels and handles like an S chassis. So I'm super excited to get this dialed in. Obviously we went with GK Tech's lower arm as well, so we don't have any issues with like those stock arms getting in the way, and it will ultimately lead us to having more angle because we can, you know, adjust our caster and camber quite freely with those. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think this is gonna be a really sick setup. I can't wait to let May drive it and start learning in this and teach other friends. Like this is gonna be the car that you're gonna see me like, you know, invite people over to Japan and teach them how to drift or let them drift with this. Like, you know, this is gonna be the seat time car. The car where if every other one of my cars fails, this one picks up the slack. So we're definitely gonna have to do some over fenders because we're gonna bring these out a little bit. It's gonna be fun. Juliana made me popcorn. She knows I love popcorn. You ever bring me popcorn? You've got me till there's no popcorn. Yeah, my hands are pretty dirty. Add flavor. Put some hair on your chest. Thank you, Juliana. My friend's marrying a good girl. So it's the end of day 2. We've pretty much got everything bolted on that we need to, minus the rear calipers, which will arrive sometime next week. If they do, because it's Golden Week, and that's like a whole week-long holiday here. But anyways, we've got all the stuff in the front all hooked up. Steve, right now, we just finished centering the rack. We sorted that out. He's marked the tie rods where we need to chop them, because these are kind of like a universal tie rod. So you gotta cut them to suit. But it's like 8 p.m. I'm beat and I have to go edit some videos, so we're gonna go back to the hotel now. But the Z is kind of like all but there. Like I think we're still gonna be able to, like, you know, maybe do a couple laps just testing like the diff and the clutch and everything like that. But we're not gonna have the hydro. We will have the stock e-brake, but the shoes are not the greatest on them right now, so we'll just, you know, test it out. I also still need to snip that wire going to the ECU for the brakes, but there are ways around that. I can just unplug the brake pedal for a little bit, which means I won't have brake lights, but won't be messing up the whole ECU ABS stuff. Anyway, so that's kind of where we're at right now. we were hoping for 2 days. I think this is how it always rolls with cars. You're always like, oh yeah, we just gotta, you know, put some adjustable arms on, coilovers and angle kit, and we're good to go. And then you forget about clutch, and when problems happen, like me drilling the wrong hole in the subframe. I'm sorry, Steve, for subframe problems.
It's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Oh, see, he changed his attitude.
More money for our company.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm sponsoring Fustel's drift car, guys, by making mistakes on my drift car in their shop. But no, for real, these guys always look after me, and I'm able to be on the floor, work with them and stuff, and obviously lifts is a big deal. As long as no earthquakes come, Fukushima is a little bit sketchy. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun Matsuri. Tomorrow, we've got to get the chaser prep for Matsuri, obviously starting on Saturday, and it's gonna get transported to the track as well, because it's at the shop currently. We're going to change a few things up on the alignment, just add a little bit of toe in, set it up for a bit more grip. I've also decided to go for a much grippier tire this Matsuri, and we ordered a whole bunch of like 180 treadwear tires. So there's like 20 tires coming tomorrow. That's going to be pretty cool too. But yeah, I'm excited. So we'll get to do some chaser stuff tomorrow and get that ready for Matsuri. And hopefully the Z will be drivable tomorrow. We still got to put fluids in the diff, transmission, and then it should be drivable. Like for now, we've just got the lines for the brake calipers just kind of zip tied up and taped over so nothing gets in them and they don't flop around. But yeah, once those calipers come, we'll be, oh, sorry, this end. It's not America. Anyways, I'm exhausted. I'm sure you can tell, but I'm gonna go to the hotel and edit. We'll pick it up from there. Back at the hotel now, guys, and I hope you're excited about the 350Z build. I'm definitely really hyped because I think this is going to become my new favorite drift car just because of the balance of low horsepower and handling and stuff like that. I always find I have the most fun driving when I'm in like low powered cars compared to a lot of the other stuff I have. So with that, guys, smash that like button, write a comment and subscribe, and tell me what you're most excited about with the new build, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Ciao, mata.